Right now, beneath our feet, there's a conversation happening. It's ancient, it's silent, and it forces us to ask a pretty radical question. What if the forest is intelligent? So do they? Do trees talk? The answer is a clear and resounding yes. But obviously, they don't use words. Their language is silent, it's chemical, and frankly, it's way more sophisticated than we ever could have imagined. For instance, they ask for help. When a tree is being attacked, let's say by a hungry caterpillar, it doesn't just sit there and take it. No, it sends out these chemical distress signals, almost like little electrical impulses that travel through the whole forest community, warning its neighbors that danger is on the way. They also share food. We tend to think of trees as these isolated individuals, all competing for sunlight and water. But that's not the whole story. They are part of a massive community. They can actually move critical resources. We're talking carbon, nitrogen, water between each other, shunting life-saving nutrients to little seedlings struggling in the shade or to older trees that might be sick. And this is where it gets truly incredible. Trees can recognize their own family. They can actually identify their own seedlings and give them preferential treatment, sending them extra resources and making it easier for them to grow, just like a family. And this isn't just in a lab. This plays out in this amazing chemical arms race. Out on the African savanna, when a giraffe starts munching on an acacia tree, that tree immediately floods its leaves with bitter-tasting toxins. But here's the clever part. At the same time, it releases a warning gas into the air. Other acacia trees downwind pick up on this signal and instantly start making their own toxins. The giraffes are smart, they know this, so they have to travel upwind to find a tree that hasn't gotten the memo yet. It's a silent strategic battle happening all the time. Okay, so this brings up a huge question. How? How is any of this possible? How are they sending warnings and sharing food and recognizing their own kids across huge distances all in total silence? Well, the answer is hidden in a network right under our feet. And I promise you, by the end of this, you will never look at a forest the same way again. So the first piece of the puzzle is something scientists have brilliantly nicknamed the Wood Wide Web. It's basically the forest's very own biological internet. And when you see an image like this, I want you to know this isn't just some cool artist's fantasy. This represents a real, living, breathing network that connects all the individual trees into what you could almost call a single, cohesive super-organism. So let's break down what's actually going on here. The network is made of fungi. It's called a mycorrhizal network, and it's all about a symbiotic partnership. The fungi connect to the tree roots. So if we stick with that internet analogy, the fungi are the fiber optic cables, and the trees are all the computers hooked up to the network. The fungi get the sugary goodness that trees make through photosynthesis, and in return, the trees get access to this incredible underground information highway. And get this isn't some rare thing, it's the standard. It's estimated that a staggering 80% of all land plants on our entire planet are part of these networks. The world beneath our feet is so much more connected than we ever knew. So, what kind of data is flying through this internet? Well, it's everything that's essential for life. We're talking the absolute building blocks, like carbon, nitrogen, and water. But it's also sending way more complex information. Defense signals warning of an attack, chemicals that can sabotage competitors, and even, somehow, the information that lets trees recognize their own relatives. Okay, so the internet analogies is a fantastic starting point, but it doesn't quite capture the full mind-bending picture because this network doesn't just transmit data, it seems to be processing it. It's organized in a way that looks, well, a lot like a brain. And that, of course, leads us to a really profound question. If a network can share resources, warn of danger, and nurture its young, is it actually exhibiting a form of intelligence? This is where the groundbreaking research of Dr. Suzanne Simard comes in, and she provides a really stunning clue. She discovered that the very structure, the mathematical architecture of these forest networks is remarkably similar to the neural networks inside the human brain. This image shows it perfectly. On the left, you've got a random network. The connections are kind of all over the place. It's disorganized. But on the right, you see a scale-free network. See how some nodes are super connected? Those are hubs. This hub-based structure is way more efficient, way more resilient. The human brain is a scale-free network. And as it turns out, so are forests. And right here, this is the big aha moment. When you map the components side by side, the parallels are just undeniable. The individual trees, they're like neurons. Those big, old, super-connected mother trees, they act like the hubs or major regions in a brain. The fungal threads linking everything are the axons, transmitting the signals. And the biochemicals flowing through them, they're basically the forest's version of our neurotransmitters. The forest isn't just a bunch of trees. It's a distributed, underground intelligence. So this forest brain isn't just some abstract idea. It actually creates complex social behaviors that are, honestly, surprisingly familiar to us. This really changes everything. We have to stop thinking of a forest as just a collection of lonely competitors. It's a deeply interconnected community, and it's built on relationships, on communication, and on mutual support. Think about those hub trees, the mother trees. They are the absolute pillars of this community. When a tiny seedling starts to grow, a mother tree will plug it into the network. Then she starts pumping it full of nutrients like carbon to help it survive down in the dark forest floor. She sends it warnings about threats. This connection literally skyrockets the seedling's chance of survival. And here it is, the most mind-blowing part of all. Research has shown that these mother trees can tell the difference between their own offspring and seedlings from other trees, and they will intentionally send more carbon, more support to their own kin. This is complex social behavior, and it's all happening through this invisible underground network. Okay, so this is all amazing science, but why does it matter so much? Because, this isn't just a fascinating fun fact. Understanding this secret language is absolutely critical for the future of our planet. This network is the foundation of a healthy forest. It's what allows a forest to be resilient against huge threats like climate change and disease. It's essential for new life to begin. So when we talk about reforestation, we can't just go out and plant a bunch of trees. We have to re-establish this network. It is our greatest and most powerful ally in healing our planet. Knowing all this completely transforms how we view and act like clear-cutting a forest. It's not just about destroying a bunch of trees anymore. It's about dismantling a complex living system. It is literally erasing an ancient collaborative intelligence. So this discovery really forces us to end with a powerful question. If forests can communicate, learn, remember, and nurture their young, if they really do possess a form of intelligence, how does that fundamentally change our relationship with them? And how does it change our responsibility to protect them for all the generations to come?